First things first, I didn't agree with the topic, right? Because I don't just like this profession, I love it. I think there is a very, very compelling set of reasons. Clearly, five are not enough. I think every one of them that Kajendra spoke about resonated completely with me. I'm sure it completely resonated with all of you all in the audience as well. But I truly love it. He spoke about jobs which are 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I think our profession is one where 24 hours a day is not enough. There is just so much opportunity. There is just so much that happens every single day that you just wish that time could, somehow get produced and compounded a little more. I think reason number one, right, why we love this profession is we get paid to actually say no. I think back about parenting styles. Go back 25, 30, 40, 50 years ago. What did parents do? Everything that their children said, they said no. That was a parenting style. And therefore, what you did is when your parents said yes, it was a big deal to something. I think as advisors, very often, we are the only people for our clients who are out there saying no. Maybe their spouses say no, but I think besides that, no one else says no to them. Remember, we live in a yes man's world. Everyone is constantly selling. Everyone is constantly telling them that here's this big opportunity. Why don't you participate? We are those people who come there and tell them, I think this is a bad idea. Of course, we have to explain it. In fact, that's our biggest opportunity. We get a chance to explain the no rather than just say no. And we get paid for it. I want to give you a few examples. 3 years ago, the only conversation that used to happen was crypto, right? We spent lots of time reading about crypto because we couldn't just say no, right? Imagine you walk into a meeting and the client tells you, hey, my portfolio is doing okay, but this is nothing, right? Look at crypto. And you went out there and you did all the research that you could do in the world, and you could find that you can't build solid use cases on how to use crypto. So you went out and you explained in 10 minutes why your answer was no to crypto. This was a big deal. Of course, this conversation has come back. Now that you have ETFs which have got legalized on crypto, this same conversation is coming back saying, but now that ETFs are available, I think there is an opportunity. Again, our job is to go out there and say, this is fantastic, this is great, but tell us, how are you going to use this underlying asset? Does it have cash flows? What is that thing inside it which can create intrinsic value? If you don't have that answer, then you got to stay away. So I think the best thing about this profession, the reason why it's reason number one, is because we get to say no to people. The second item is essentially that we can ask questions shamelessly. Most people come to us for answers. We actually go to them with a bunch of questions. Here's an example. I'm tired of my job. I think I want to quit tomorrow. Fantastic, great. What are you going to do? That we'll figure out. Let's figure it out right now, right? You want to quit tomorrow? You can't figure that out tomorrow. Let's figure it out today. Here's my calendar. Okay, let's open your Google Calendar on your screen. Start filling in what you're going to do if you're retired tomorrow. Let's say you have a notice period of 1 month, 3 months, whatever it might be. Let's start filling in the calendar. Start putting in what you're going to do with your time. I will read the newspapers and magazines. Fantastic. 1 hour? No, I can spend 2 hours doing that. Great. Let's fill 2 hours. What next? I will go for leisurely lunches. I'm like, with who? I'm not sure, because my wife is going to be working. So I'm like, okay, so you're going to go into this fantastic restaurant all by yourself. You're going to sit there and you're going to have this leisurely lunch. No, but I have a lot of other stuff to do. I'm like, give me examples. Let's fill up this calendar, right? And then all of a sudden, that person realizes that he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's tired of a particular situation in his life today, and therefore he's thinking the escape route lies elsewhere, when actually his escape route doesn't lie there. His escape route lies in trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. And only if you're able to go out there and ask those questions can you help him get those answers, because he has to discover these answers himself. And your job is to go out there and ask the right questions. In fact, all of you all are, I'm sure, completely familiar with AI or hearing it everywhere, etc. You will realize that AI is the best place to demonstrate that actually questions matter more than answers. Reason number 3, we get to manage behavior. This is our single largest job. In a bull market, we're out there telling conservative investors that, all of a sudden, you haven't become this super expert on equity markets. I'm sure lots of you all are facing it today. Everyone wants to buy equity. Whether they understand it or not, they say, I'm taking too little risk in my portfolio. Too little. In bear markets, we will have exactly the opposite situation to deal with. Exactly the opposite. There'll be people who will say, we don't want to buy equity. Hey, these are the 5 reasons why markets are going to go down. It's exactly what we're facing when we talk to clients about China today, right? When we talk about investing in China today, people give us 35 slide decks on why they should not invest in China. Not why they should invest, but why they should not invest in China. I'm not saying go out there and invest in China, but I'm just saying that managing behavior is very important, because you can have India valuations which are super expensive and everyone wanting to buy it, and you can have China valuations which are super cheap and no one wanting to buy it. And this is our job out there, to give them data to help them manage their behavior. Because ultimately, good money behavior dictates outcomes more than knowledge. There is this mistaken belief that knowledge is supreme as far as investing is concerned. I'm sorry. There is enough literature to show that behavior is supreme as far as investing is concerned. Number 4, let's not do anything works more often than doing things. This is the biggest challenge that all of us face in this room, in my view, that when you get paid for something, you normally want to take more action, because people otherwise think you're being lazy. But I think well thought out processes, well thought out communication on why you should stay there is very powerful. Of course, there's a money reason for it. It reduces cost, it reduces taxes, all of that. But ultimately, the biggest reason why you do that is because it actually gives you better outcomes. Compounding, all of those benefits come from not doing anything rather than doing too much. And therefore, we just tell clients, chill maar yaar. Don't worry about this. This too will pass. This is really what we are actually out there telling people to do. Last but not the least, we help clients create incredible capital. Now, typically when people think about capital, they think about money. Our belief is that we help people create 4 kinds of capital. Number 1, human capital. What's all the potential you have in the world? Why did you come here? There was a reason, right? There is a lot in Indian mythology, Indian scriptures, etc., which says that you come into the world with a purpose. A human life is not something that you get often. So the question is, if someone has a desire to be an entrepreneur, how am I helping him get there? How am I helping her get there? Am I doing things to make that possible? This is what achieving human capital is about. Fulfillment capital. I want to go and meet my children. They live in the US. But the flight is crazy. It takes 24 hours to get there. Okay, can we put you on a business class ticket? Can you afford it? Why not go there and enjoy being there? There's no reason to go there and then spend 10 days recovering from not just jet lag, but pain in the knees and so many other things that end up happening. This is what you earn money for, right? You don't earn money so that you can just pass it on to the next generation. There has to be a way that you spend right as well. Third is financial capital, provide security. This is how much money you require. This is how much money you have. Can I put this together in a good format? And last but not the least, shared capital. How do you make a difference in the world? You go out there and you talk to people and say, you know what? The legacy question that Gajendra posed. What is it that you want to leave the world with? How do you want people to remember you? Do you want to remember them as saying that he was a nice guy, he was always smiling? Or do you want to say that you did something much beyond that? So I want to talk about a client of ours. Sorry, I'm a minute over time, but I'll take the liberty if I may. He came to us in about 2007. Obviously, I had lots of hair at that time. I don't now. He came to us in 2007 and told us that, I think I'm done with the corporate world. And we were like, okay, let's talk about it. So he said, you know what? We finished our silver jubilee a few years back out of college, right? We had an alumni get together. All of us met, we had fun, we had drinks. And we said, we're all successful, but something's missing. Something is missing. Something's not there. And they said, how are we going to give back? So they went out and they created this little bit of a sort of NGO, because 4 or 5 of them got over the drinks the next day and then they met again and said, let's do something about this. They went out, created a NGO, focus girl education. This happened in 2004 when they set up the NGO. This is 2007 when the client says that, you know what, this NGO is not picking up enough pace. I think I need to spend more time. I just want you to crunch all the numbers for me and tell me that, I'm prematurely quitting from my job, but can I afford to? And we said, okay, that's what we will do. We will come back to you pretty quickly. We understand you have a 3-month notice period at your job. We went back the next day and said, you're okay. So right after that conversation, he went and put in his papers. Today that NGO, and he's not alone in that, has educated more than 50,000 girls. More than 50,000 girls out there who have actually been educated all the way from grade 1 to grade 10. So it's not just going out there and doing 3 lectures, to people who are uneducated. They've gone through formal schooling programs with a curriculum which ensures that they have a 100% pass rate in whatever exams that they have to do to be part of the mainstream. I think that's what this industry can give us, the ability to help achieve human capital, to help people achieve fulfillment capital, financial capital, and shared capital. I think this is the power of this industry. That's why I don't just like this profession. I absolutely, absolutely love it. Thank you so much.